And now it's time for Paige and Daddy's Cooking Show. Paige and Daddy's Cooking Show. Paige and Daddy's Cooking Show. All right, welcome to Paige and Daddy's Cooking Show. Today, Paige, we are cooking white turkey chili with aged cheddar and blue corn tortilla strips. Why don't you walk us through our ingredients today?
All right, so you will need some turkey, as well as this spice mixture, which is made of cornstarch, chipotle chili powder, ground cumin, whole Mexican oregano.
You still have your expander in, so it's tough to say the word cumin.
Yeah, anyways.
Yeah.
Whole Mexican oregano, garlic powder, and sweet paprika.
Okay.
And then you also need a lime, as well as some sour cream, some blue corn tortillas, some aged white cheddar cheese, some cannellini.
Hey, that was pretty good upside down.
Beans.
Nicely done.
And also some kale, as well as some cilantro, one red onion, and a poblano.
Poblano chili. So our first step, we're going to go ahead and heat the oven to 450 degrees. And once we do that, we're going to go ahead and wash and prepare all of our vegetables. And we'll be back in just a minute.
All right, we are back, and right now my dad is peeling the leaves off of the kale stems.
That's right. Essentially, all I'm doing is I'm removing the stalk, which can be bitter, from the kale, and just making sure. And then what we're going to do is we'll roughly chop this in a little bit as soon as I get all this done into kind of bite-sized pieces and put it in a bowl.
And what I'm doing is I picked off the big stems from the cilantro and left the kind of the skinny ones on. And then what I'm just doing is just thinly slicing them so that they're a nice garnish to put them in. So yeah, we'll be back after that.
All right.
All right.
So what have we done so far, Paige?
So what I've done is I've cut the blue corn tortillas in half. And then what I've done is I stacked them up and then just put them together and rocked the knife back and forth and cut them in half. Like that.
So you've got little 1 inch, 1.5 inch, or a half inch, good Lord, if I can speak, half-inch strips.
Sound like me now.
All right. So the other thing that we've done is we've quartered the lime, and we've also drained the white beans. And you can see here, I'm just kind of finishing up, cutting up the poblano chili. I cored and seeded the poblano chili, and all I'm doing is just kind of chopping it up finely. And the last thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and grate that. But now that Paige has finished the blue corn tortillas, we're going to add some olive oil. Paige, can you get me the olive oil?
Yeah.
And Paige, what did you learn about blue corn? Because I thought that was fascinating that we were reading about.
Well, I learned that it has 20% protein.
Yeah, 20% more protein than regular corn.
Regular white or yellow tortillas.
That's right. And I'm particularly excited about blue corn because I grew up in northwest New Mexico. And the Hopi, which is an ancient native culture, even more. Yeah, there you go. And then we'll kind of stir it around. The ancient native culture that used to use blue corn, and I actually was first introduced to blue corn in the Zuni Pueblo, which is just north of Gallup, New Mexico, and they made this blue corn stuff that was like it was called petitza. I think it was called petitza. Really, really thin cornmeal, and they would cook it out on these rocks. And then they peel it and roll it up. Absolutely delicious. Okay, Paige, single layer. We're going to pop this into the oven for about 10 minutes.
Wait, it's not a single layer.
That's single layer. Yeah, that's good. We're going to pop this in the oven for about 10 minutes, and then we'll start working on our chili. All right, so we are back. I am just finishing up the onion and chopping it into small pieces. And chef's trick, what I've done is I've cut it horizontally, and then I've cut it laterally, and now what I'm going to do is chop it. So it makes it just a little easier to get it into those small bite-sized pieces. Paige, what have you been working on?
I've been working on grating all of the cheese. So I have this tiny little cube, and then I just take it and rub it on the small side of the grater, and it grates your cheese for you.
And you're afraid that you're going to grate your hand off, aren't you?
Yeah. And also what we're doing is we're heating a tablespoon of olive oil in a pot. And then we're going to add the poblano peppers.
Go ahead, Paige. And you want to make sure whenever you're working with peppers to wash your hands. So especially if you stick your hands in like I'm doing and get out that stuff, just that oil can be a little dangerous. So we'll get that going, get it going nice, and start getting the onions a little more translucent. And we'll start adding the other ingredients. We'll be back in a little bit.
We have to season. Wait, no. We have to season with salt and pepper as well.
You got it.
I have some pepper here.
And then I've got some salt.
Perfect.
And
I'm just going to take a little wooden spoon and give it a little stir. And we're going to wait for this to cook. Alright, we are back, and right now our onions and poblano peppers have cooked. Hey, look, I said it right.
Yeah, that was good. Very good.
And now we're just going to give the ground the turkey in it.
Yeah, put the ground turkey in it. Maybe.
Yeah.
Is that what you mean?
Yeah, sorry. I'm struggling talking, okay? And I'm just gonna, it's supposed to be frequently breaking apart all of these meats. So that's what I'm just gonna be doing for the next
Right, and while we're
3 to
doing
5
that,
minutes.
Paige, if you could step to the side real quick.
Sure.
We're gonna, I need to get something out of here for you. We're gonna pull out our crispy blue corn chips, and they've kind of browned a little bit, and we're gonna put them here on this plate. Which has just a little bit of a paper towel on it.
Looks like
And we're immediately going to season that with salt. Hold on one sec. All right, looking good. And we'll be back in a few minutes.
Alright, so our meat is cooked here, and we have it kind of simmering in this pot on medium heat. And then what we're going to do is we're going to add our delicious spice blend here.
Add that all in and stir it for 20 or 30 seconds, Paige.
Alright.
And make sure it gets all in there.
So as you can see the meat is getting nicely seasoned and very nicely browned. Nice job, Dad.
Yeah, you're welcome. Okay, and now what we're going to do is we're going to add 3.5 cups of water. So this is 2 cups here, so I'll add that. And I'll add another 1.5 cups.
So the spices in the meat are actually what flavors that water, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the veggies too.
All right, we're going to do that. And then what we're going to do, Paige, is we're going to add our kale. And we're going to bring this to a boil. And then once we do that, we're going to bring it to a boil, and then we're going to take the heat down and simmer it for, 10, 12 minutes or so. And then at that point, guess what?
What?
We're going to be ready to eat.
Alright, so we'll see you after that.
All right, small omission. We forgot the beans. So we're about 15 seconds, and then Mommy reminded us that we forgot the beans. So we're just adding the beans to the rest of that mixture. Thank you, Mommy.
Always saves the day. Alright, so we have our chili, and it has been simmering for about 8 to 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And what we're going to do,
really good,
it smells really good, is just take our lime wedges and go ahead and squeeze them. And then I'm just going to put my hand here. My dad taught me this. No, you're not going to do that because there's no seeds.
It's a little different than a lemon, but yeah, just go ahead and squeeze the juice of the lemons in there. Or I said lemon. Why did I say lemon?
What is happening?
And the lime. And what we're going to do is we're going to stir a bunch. You get that in there? And then, Paige, we're at my favorite part of the show.
Tasting.
Tasting. Oh my God, it's amazing. We got taste. It's amazing. Oh, sorry.
Blooper reel.
Okay, watch out. Ready? Here we go. And lift off. All right, so we've got our bowl set up here. We've got a nice hot pot. We have a ladle somewhere. I think the ladle goes here. Yeah, here it is.
Right there.
All right, so we're just going to scoop that in there. Just going to do 1 scoop for now so we get to try.
Take some of this aged cheddar.
All right, and some sour cream maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And some cilantro. And some of our blue corn chips.
Should we give it a stir? Just to get the sour cream in?
No,
I'm going to do that.
What? That's crazy, Todd.
Spicy
Yeah, you're afraid of the spice, aren't you?
Mm-hmm.
I gotta admit, I think this is gonna be delicious, but I think Paige may be a little nervous with the spice. So let's give it a shot. Get some kale there, some of that blue corn tortilla. Nice. Mm. Mm. Do you taste any spice at all?
Yep.
There's a little there. What do you think of the flavors?
Good flavors.
Yeah, you like the flavors?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, that has been Paige and Daddy's Cooking Show. Thank you for joining us. Come here, give me a kiss. I had fun cooking with you.
I had fun cooking.
Remember, daddies and daughters should cook together.